So we've got Tagawa Industrial,
So
we've got Albion Innovative, we've got Saxony Patriotic, and we've got Crimea Engineering. So let's see here. I'm gonna go with. Are you in here, Brain
Yeah,
Food?
Tagawa Industrial.
Are you in here, Brain Food?
I can't
yeah, for me, like hardcore robot voice.
Okay, is that better?
I can't find the SIP. You filtered through Falmoth's name, FOMLF. It might come up that way faster.
Make sure you don't have. On that.
Can you hear me now, Exxon?
That's
Yeah,
good.
yeah, much better.
Okay.
Do you find it, Brain Food?
Yeah.
Perfect. Boom.
Are we drawing encounters for the bid order?
Yeah, that's how we've been doing that.
Yeah.
So draw an encounter card. It's lowest number. Is it lowest number or highest? No, it doesn't matter.
Highest number.
Okay.
As I said, I got a 9. Ooh.
All right. Someone else draw an
Right.
encounter card. Igmatus got a 9.
You'll have to move me to a seat.
I got 34.
Can you not sit down?
No, color's a lot.
There we go.
Guess I'll draw.
Yeah, go for it.
30.
30. So Mr. Durpton had highest, right?
Oh, man.
What'd he get?
34.
I wonder, these are actually,
Okay, we go in with derp and then just going around the color wheel. Keep it simple.
sure.
Works for me. It's the same way that the maths choose
Yeah.
order.
All right, let's just go around the color wheel.
All right.
Let's put the encounter cards back. Give it a shuffle.
Jeez. Come on, lag.
I kind of... These are all pretty interesting, actually. So... I think I'll do...
Okay, so then next is night, right? If we're going around in the...
Yeah.
Okay, night, what's your bid?
So it's to you, Brain Food. You can type your bid in chat. Current bid for Crimea is 1.
Pass.
Oh. Night is thinking. I think that counts as a pass.
Yeah, I'm passing again.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's
Well,
good.
once you've passed, you're just passed, so you can't pass one round and then actually rejoin later.
So it goes back
for
to
the Scythe
derp,
card.
derp,
Yeah,
right?
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you can take it.
So that's Crimea Engineering for 4.
Spud Sofa, look who just got unplugged. What? Okay. So that's knight at 4, right?
Knight at 4.
4. Or Crimea.
Should have gone 5. Bidding is hard.
So since Dope didn't win it, Dope goes again, I assume, right?
No, it goes to brain food now, I guess.
Okay.
So you can bid.
And pick. Yep. That's
It was
the
like Saxony, yeah.
So 1 for Saxony.
Yep.
I'll pass.
Mm. I'm guessing like the last player is going to get the faction without having to bid. And yeah,
Yep.
That's correct, yeah.
I bid 0. Everyone passes. Huh.
I take it that's a
Okay,
pass.
so that's a pass. Yep,
Okay, so I get it for 2.
you get it for 2. Let's keep things symmetrical. I'll be on for 0. Actually, no, I'll be on for 1.
yeah,
Cool.
I guess I'm to out.
I realized that if there's very little reason, yeah, I was gonna be like, I don't want to go. I should bid at least 1.
Yeah.
All right, we've got Crimea Engineering for 4, Saxony Patriotic for 2, Albion Innovative for 1, and Tagawa Industrial for 0.
I don't even think that's such a bad Tagawa mat combination. I just cat clicked Tagawa to save my life. But I haven't given it enough practice either.
Yeah, same. But I'm not particularly good with Albion either. So.
I'm actually pretty good with Albion.
Okay, Tagawa's going to go first in this game.
Alright.
Okay.
These objectives.
Alrighty then.
What do I click to load? Just
The faction button, and then
button.
then click the proper mat.
Australia.
Yep. Beautiful scripting.
I think Tagawa goes first. So Tagawa hovers the cursor over the echo tool and presses 3, right?
Thought it was 1.
Is it 1? Okay.
So it was yeah. 2. Okay.
Two.
I'm gonna go to a different channel. Touch it.
Yeah, well, Falmoff and I are gonna move to lobby 2.
Oh, you're gonna move? Okay.
Yeah, I think we'll just do it like that.
So what is Tagawa supposed to press now to get the echo tool on their they hit
Say
intern
enter.
now,
I
right?
press the end turn.
Okay, Tagawa, press intern.
There you go.
There we go.
Boom.
All right, we're off to lobby 2.
Alrighty then.
Who do you like in this game? Just not knowing the players, just faction mat combinations off the bids.
Mm. And what are we at now? So we had to go on Albion had the least, right? Criminal Engineering 4. I mean, that is probably just right up there to be worth it. I think he shouldn't have too much trouble pulling through with that.
I think Crimea Engineering is a strong combination depending on how you play it.
Yeah.
I think it's the third best board for Crimea, in my personal opinion.
After Patriotic and what?
Well, Patriotic is banned, so I would say after Militant and Innovative.
Okay. So counting banned one's the fourth best one.
Yeah, I've never really looked into or played Crimea Patriotic because it's been banned since I started playing this game. So it's hard for me to compare. We went for the trade right away to start getting the metal. Crimea did toward getting that first mech, probably a speed mech. Saxony traded for oil, which makes sense when that you guys need to stand up out of your seats or else the echo goes
and
to
you're
you.
on white, so you need to switch to switch to spectator, game master, or whatever.
All right. Well, we got that little housekeeping thing done there. So Saxony's got the really expensive mechs, right? He gets a lot of coin for it, but it's 4 metal to build one of his mechs. So he went for the early oil. There's a good chance next turn he moves and makes those deploys a little bit cheaper.
Yeah, definitely. And the nice thing is at least that since he gets at least 1 coin there, he can do trade and then upgrade without even producing too often, and still manage to at least come out, come out at 0 in terms of cash. I never liked the mats like what Albion has, like innovative, because I just like doing upgrades, and having upgrades always cost 3 oil just is not nice for me.
Innovative is a strong board, and right now it's the highest performing board in the tournament. It's 3 food to get his first enlist, and Albion starts with no combat cards. So he traded for 2 food as the first move, as his first play. We're probably going to see a produce next to get him to that 3 food before he moves. Oh, probably to go ahead and get his combat cards so that Saxony Patriotic doesn't start this game by breathing down his neck. Crimea produced. What did we get from Tagawa? Tagawa, we've got a move so far. He's committing to oil and a trade for oil and metal. Interestingly, Saxony upgraded his enlist rather than upgrading his deploy. So he's definitely going to go for enlists this game. This is an interesting way to start out for him.
Yeah, and here we go, as you said. Yeah, followed by Albion doing a produce. So that next turn he can do his move and enlistment. Okay.
So it looks like a produce. No. How did Tagawa get 2 more oil?
He started off with trade, right? For that and that.
He moved, and then he traded. I need to jump in their chat and talk to them real quick.
Yeah.
Hey Tagawa.
Yeah, I got it.
You got it? You traded for oil this turn?
Produce this.
Okay, produced oil this turn, but you can't do the upgrade, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all good.
The user.
We're good. We're good now.
All legit?
All legit. Just got a little confused.
Alright, trades and deploys, makes sense.
Looks like he's going to 5 workers. Crimea is. If he were going to 8 workers, he would have produced first. But now he's got 1 produce coming after his out of his mech deploy. So he's probably going with a 5 worker strat with Crimea Engineering. Saxony traded for 2 food, so he's going to turn around and produce to try to get his first enlist. Probably go for that combat card enlist. Give him a chance to profit off of Crimea's enlists early.
Yeah, for sure. Crimea's like that.
What do you think about the 5 workers with Crimea engineering? You like 5 workers or you like 8 for that board?
I mean, for me, generally, I very rarely actually go up to 8 workers unless it's something that I see that I have an easy opportunity to get the star for that. Generally, I prefer with most of my boards anyway to just keep it at 5, as I find obviously a power is easy enough to make back even if you have to repeatedly produce, but once you start getting to losing popularity and losing cash, it just gets too expensive for me.
Yeah. One of the things that's interesting about the engineering board is that your produce is over your upgrade, right? And Crimea doesn't start with oil inside of their home base. So every time they produce is a turn where they don't get a bottom row action.
Yeah,
if you were going to
until they
make a
manage
case,
to get across the river.
if you were going to make a case for 8 workers, it would be it's expensive, but it's fewer produces for more resources, fewer turns without a bottom row action. So there's a case to be made for either one.
True.
So we got an upgrade coming, probably a bolster and an upgrade coming from Tagawa this turn. That's what he set himself up for.
Come on, Tagawa.
He's thinking about it.
We all know what you're wanting to do.
Maybe thinking about moving one more turn. Picking up a mech.
For what? Oh, just checking out his, yeah.
I think he's trying to decide if he wants to upgrade the deploy.
Yeah.
Right. Why Tagawa's thinking about what he's doing?
Trying to figure out what he's even thinking about now. The obvious thing to do now is that bolster and an upgrade. I guess he's trying to figure out.
Well, I suppose it's
think of that as
possible
well.
he's thinking about moving, getting to that encounter and seeing what he gets, because that might inform what he wants to upgrade, possibly,
True.
depending on his strategy. But it looks like he is going to go with the upgrade.
Yeah. Did he move his? He hasn't moved his power yet.
All right, he's going to upgrade, he's going to bolster, and he's going to upgrade the upgrade.
Did he grab a card or did he move his power? Or was, yeah.
Didn't do either, it looks like. I'll jump over there again.
Yeah, sure.
Part of this mod. The other.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Tagawa, it looks like you paid for a bolster, so you get either 2 power on the power track or you get a combat card. Doesn't look like you got either.
Yeah. Sorry.
All good.
All good, thanks guys.
Load. By their enlist. Oh, for the mech. So I'm going to get the coins for each card and get the coins for each mech from his neighbors, and right away grabbing the additional power cards. Nice.
Hey, is
Okay.
someone else in this chat channel?
In our chat channel, yeah, whoever Gimal8 is. Gimal, we're using this for our moderator chat for the tournament match, so I'm gonna have to kick you out of the channel. Try lobby 3 if you're trying to set something out for a game.
All right, let's see. Crimea produced to 5 workers like we thought. Saxony went for that coin enlist. So Saxony's potentially looking here at an engine-based game rather than trying to rush the game with a bunch of combat stars. Albion produced
Yeah.
again. What did Albion do last turn?
Albion last turn did a move followed by an enlist.
Okay.
So yeah, they moved their character out and then moved onto the village.
Just double checking there. Saw that 2 metal, but the produce was earlier before the move enlist.
Yeah. They basically did a produce, move, produce.
All right, we're back to Tagawa. And
Okay,
here's the
go for
encounter
Mexa,
here.
looks like.
He's going to gain 1 worker and any 2 resources. Paying $4.
Where do you see
Or
the
$2.
That's right, he left it here. Oh, nice. Okay, so got his another worker there for free. Great. Well, practically for free. With his 2 oil. So what, next turn another bolster and upgrade it looks like? With those 2 guys there, he can then upgrade. Yeah, bolster and upgrade. And then put the upgrade token on his deploy so that then next turn he does a produce with his 2 villagers there and right away deploys one of his mechs. Nice.
Okay, we got Crimea with his encounter. Gain 2 power and 1 popularity. Pay $2 to gain 4 power. Pay 2 popularity to gain 1 upgrade and 2 resources. So this could be a telling encounter right here. His bolster is over his build. So if he's going for buildings, he could be looking at the power star here pretty easily. If he's not going for buildings, he might still take the power just because he's not going to get a lot of it without going for buildings. So as I talk out loud, maybe it doesn't tell us that much about his strategy. But
Okay. Picked option 2. Yep, looks like he's going for as much power as possible.
we'll just have to see if that's because he wants the power star or just because he wants to have enough power to get his combat stars. Saxony's trading for 2 more food, wants to keep those enlists rolling.
Yeah. And I'm just looking at this, how it's split with Albion having all of this space over here on its own. And then the other 3 are much more tightly packed. And share paths to the factory as well if any of them decide they want to go for that.
Yeah, he's definitely by himself over there, and Burrow gives him access to both Polania's home base and to Nordic's home base if he wants to spread out in those directions.
Mm-hmm.
Tagawa moved last turn.
Yeah,
Looks
so
like
they're
we're
going,
looking
yeah,
at...
like I said, bolster and then upgrade this turn. I bet for their metal.
He's already upgraded his move. Thinking bolster deploy?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Oh, we're so smart. Yeah, grab his 3 coins. Did he move his power up?
He did.
Yeah,
He's at
just
4 now.
Upgraded it, so perfect. Yeah. Okay, Crimea, what are you trying to do here?
Probably a produce coming out of Crimea. He doesn't have enough food for a...
Yep.
Yeah, there it is. Enough food for an enlist.
So now he's at 4 food and 3 metal. Nice. Yeah, of course, start off with his speed mech.
One reason I like going 8 workers with Crimea is you have enough food that the first time you move to distribute your workers, you can get your first enlist. He only had 2 food there, so he still doesn't have his first enlist. And Saxony's up to 2 of them now. But Saxony, again, didn't go for the combat card enlist. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little bit interesting considering Albion's already shown he might be going for enlist. Of course, Albion might just be getting that enlist for the combat cards. But Crimea is definitely going to go for enlist. Saxony's missing out on several combat cards potentially.
And he starts off with 6, so it's not going to bite him in the butt yet, but potentially further down the line when that starts running dry with him wanting to do as many combats as he can.
He starts out with 4 combat cards at the very beginning.
Alright, yeah, this thing. I always forget that this has the 0. Well, no, but yeah, he grabbed the 2 there.
Yeah, he got it off the enlist bonus. So he did go for combat cards, just not the repeating combat card enlist bonus. So Tagawa's now in a place where he can produce and immediately get a mech.
And I think that that's definitely what he was wanting to do. But he seems like he's thinking about it. Cool.
How are we looking on coin here? Tagawa's got 6 coin. Cremia's sitting at 1. We've got 9 on Saxony Patriotic, which is the clear leader on coin, and 4 for Albion. So far Saxony's attempt to work that engine is keeping him a little bit ahead of everybody else. Have to keep an eye on that and see if that trend continues. He hasn't even begun to build his mechs, which is where the bulk of your coin comes from on that patriotic board.
Yeah. Interesting that he hasn't done any upgrades on that yet. Okay.
Did he have a medal on the ground?
Yeah, he had 1. Yeah, he had a...
That's right, because he traded for a medal and an oil on one of the first 2 turns of the game.
Yeah,
he hasn't spent it.
It was on his oil field.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, yeah, he left it on the other side of his character, yep. So, he used exactly as much as he should use, and he's going for Tolka. Move across a river, but only 1 character, or mech per turn.
So you think he's got his eye on Rusviet's encounter up there?
Yeah, I'd say so. But that's, unfortunately for him, without access to a speed mech, that's still at least 2 turns away. As in 2 moves away.
So Crimea just deployed his second mech and spent his last coin to do it.
He needs to build that up now with building or an enlistment.
Well, what he might do next turn, since he has 3 food, is he might use the gain action rather than the move. Give himself a coin and then a second coin for the enlist. And, I mean, you might normally take the 2 coin off the enlist bonus just to have a little cushion there for your trades, etc. But I don't know how you pass up the 2 combat cards if you're Crimea.
Yeah, you need those.
We got another move and an upgrade out of Saxony.
Yep.
Looks like he's going to take his encounter now. Got it down on the table there.
And what are we at? 2 wood and popularity. 2 to gain 3 popularity.
He took option 1.
So he's going for the wood and popularity. Yeah, it makes sense. He doesn't have easy access to buildings.
Buildings is an interesting move with the patriotic board because they don't give you any coin.
Yeah.
And the it's not under your move action. So you have to move your workers to get to a place to build. And then you have to build. He has upgraded it. So he has enough wood for his next 2 buildings if he uses the trade action to get wood before building. Look at Albion here. He's making some moves.
Oh, damn. Right for a move.
He went for that tundra encounter instead of the village one.
He's
Sitting at-
he hasn't written which one he's going for, has he?
Sitting at 3 popularity. Option number 2 gets him nearly to tier 2. Another enlist would get him to 8 if he takes the popularity bonus. So
2, and he's at 4 coins. I mean, it's not too bad a trade.
no, I think that 3 popularity is a really powerful option here for him. Albion, which takes advantage of the flags, gets a lot of his points out of territories. So with that many points coming from territories, tier 2 is really powerful because it's a 50% increase in the coins you get from territories.
Yeah. Jumping up from 2 to 3. You have someone throwing plates around in your house?
I'm trying to mute myself. It's a nice machine.
It's one of the first things I always notice so much when going back to the US. Everyone has an ice machine, it feels like.
A lot of people do. They come standard with a lot of refrigerators. All right, so Tagawa just dropped his first trap token, so he is planning on using them. He just figured he could get away with getting all the way to that village tunnel before dropping the first one. And he was right. Saxony's not rushing his mechs. He barely got there though before Crimea could get out there.
Okay, now going for the wood, which is, yeah. So that's his move, and then, like we said, probably next in the list. Yeah. Food. Well, he's definitely not picking option 2.
Is he out of coin?
Yeah, he's completely out of coin, so he's just choosing option 1, which I guess says much. So getting the 1 popularity and 2 food. Which is nice. Yeah, I can right away spend that. And let's see.
He must want tier 2 because the 2 popularity for 2 food and 2 metal would really have been quite nice for him. It would mean he could just use a combat card to get his 3rd mech, and he can't pay for a trade right now.
He can grab his coin for his enlist. Just write in the chat, or what?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay. Okay, Saxony just traded. Got the 2 food. Yeah, I bet.
Saxony's up to 10 coins now.
Damn, going for the big money strategy.
Patriotic board can crank it out. Although in this tournament so far, the Patriotic is second to last in coin production, believe it or not.
Yeah, Relix, good point. Yellow and black, it seems, intend to build this game and not about rushing mechs. Damn.
Engineering is an interesting board for Crimea because it can rush the game, or it can go for buildings and just put out a substantial amount of points.
Alright, so we got the metal production.
Thankfully for him, he can immediately spend it too, because Crimea can't move this next turn. You gotta think he's eyeing that free metal there.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be free anymore. Bringing in his Ronin mech.
Heating up here. I must say, as much as I enjoy Crimea, they have the derpiest mechs.
You don't like Scout?
Like, why does it have the small wheel and the big wheel and the legs?
Oh, we're talking about the design.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Crimea mech with the big tricycles are not my favorite.
No.
I think I've got to give it to in the base game. I got to give. It's funny if you're talking about the plastic pieces. My favorite is Polania.
Yeah.
But if you're talking about the metal mechs, I think I might even like Rustviet more. The Rustviet metal mechs are amazing. But my overall favorite mech might be Albion because it looks like a T-Rex to me.
Yeah, that is the way I describe it. Just a T-Rex with a cannon attached.
So Saxony got that wood off that encounter, but he still hasn't spent it yet. He's continuing to.
It for quite a while.
Yeah. You just got him. He just went to 7 workers, and he's got some oil.
Okay, Albion, what are you doing? Trading for his upgrade.
Trades give you a lot of coin with that innovative board.
Yeah. Okay, going to go.
Did he get resources for his trade? I don't see any. Still thinking about it.
Yep, bolster building with them. Oh, interesting, putting the monument right there.
Building bonus for this game is next to the tunnels. And that's the only space he has right now that's next to 2 tunnels.
True.
He wants to go for that monument first, of course, because he intends to build and he intends to go high popularity this game, which is also why he took the popularity enlist first. Means he's missing out on combat cards from the game is censoring ASS as part of the word pass.
Can we turn that off in this? That's just stupid.
I may be able to.
Yeah, I see it. It's the profanity filter.
I think I have it on. Okay. I think if anybody has it.
I just turned it off. Yeah, I just turned it off in the chat settings.
Well, yeah, I had it on as well. So if anyone has it on, it probably does it. Yeah, that's a little bit of an over-aggressive filter.
Yeah.
So Albion traded for food last time and got his upgrade. So we're looking at maybe another move action out of Albion this game. Albion's got 6 coin. He's not doing so badly with that innovative mat. He's definitely wanting to crank out the upgrades.
Yeah.
He's going to 6 workers right now.
Going for the 3 oil there, and then I'll be able to do a metal as well.
with that produce upgrade.
Yeah. I still need to. That still means you can't deploy mech this turn. Yeah. He only has the 2 metal. Womp womp.
The guy with produced on all 3 hexes, which allows him to get another mech. He's sitting on 12 coin. He's the coin leader right now, I do believe. Check on Saxony. At 11.
Well, right, we didn't prep the factory deck.
Oh. I'm not actually sure how to do that.
Well, do we have any special rules for this? Because if not, well, then I'll just shuffle it and select 5 cards, and that's it.
Yeah, just do that. I just saying I don't know how to take.
Can I switch to black, or will it break something if I join a color in the middle of the game?
I'll do it real quick.
Oh, yeah, I think only the host can be master. Yeah, so we just need to shuffle it and then draw 5 cards that we'll actually use. Damn, Crimea jumped around quite a bit. Yeah, and I just delete the 13 left over. Okay, move and enlist, and now he went for the combat card one. And then the power. Yeah, he's definitely shooting for that 16.
Look at his factory card.
Ooh.
He's planning on converting his popularity into probably enlists.
Uh-huh. Whenever he bolster builds, he's getting 2 popularity, so it's not too bad if he then spends from time to time 1 to get an enlist.
Yeah, he's looking at 3 more buildings, which would get him to 13. But if he uses that card even once, he's back in tier 2 instead of tier 3.
Yeah,
Maybe
true.
he's hoping for some buildings out of Saxony. Saxony's already made 1. And he's upgraded his build, so maybe Crimea thinks he's going to get some popularity that he doesn't need out of Saxony, and he can use it for that factory card.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say he's probably betting on that. I mean, especially since Saxony has upgraded his build action twice. He's got to be building more buildings. Okay, Albion, what is your master plan?
Well, he's selected trade and upgrade, so he's going to get 2 more resources of his choice, probably. Looks like food. And turn in the 3 oil he's got, get some more coin and another upgrade.
Okay, he's going his 2 foods that next turn. When he moves, he can enlist as well.
Yeah, I thought he was going to do that last time because he had 2 food and he could have moved. But so far, he's content to just stockpile wood up and keep going for those upgrades.
Oh, nice. And then see, he's upgraded his coin action. This
Gawa's
game
sitting
actually-
on 14 coins, and there it is. We called it. He's going for Rustfiat's encounter there. I think Tagawa might be winning this game right now. He's right there with Saxony on coin. He's got a 2-coin lead, in fact.
Yeah.
Remember, Saxony did bid 2. Tagawa got his for free.
Yeah.
And
So that's a
Tagawa,
4-coin difference even.
yeah. Tagawa's sitting on 5 territories to Saxony's 4. So
Saxony is getting 12 though for his 4 territories, whereas Tagawa's getting 10.
oh yeah, you're right. Saxony's up in tier 2 now, isn't he?
Yeah, and as it stands now, Saxony has he built any buildings? He has. It's next to one thing. Puts him at 0.
So that tier 2 bonus gives him 6
puts him
extra
at
coins.
26. 26 minus his bid. So 24 total he's at right now, counting his coins and everything.
So Tagawa's at about 26 then.
Yeah, Tagawa's.
So it's right now it's a close race between Saxony and Tagawa. For me, it's just got 4 coin. And 6 territories. So that's what, 14? I mean, we're not counting resources for anyone right now because we're assuming they're going to get spent. There aren't that many on the board to speak
Yeah.
of.
I was counting that for Saxony, but that just puts him at 24 then instead of 26 because he only has the 1 pair.
Okay.
Yeah, Crimea does have much fewer base coins, but with the 6 territories, that's another 12, 16 with that. And then the double bonus from that 1 building, which is nice.
Oh, hello, we got a combat.
Oh, shoot, son.
He wants that food. It makes sense. His move is over his enlist. He's got food at home, but only 2 of them. So he's got to use a combat card if he's going to enlist. So, but wait, he used his factory move. He used his factory move, so there's no there's going to be no enlist after the move.
What did Albion last do?
He went
so
3.
Albion can move, so.
Crimea went with a 5. And I didn't see how much power Crimea spent, did you?
Crimea spent 5, and then the card on the top, so he put 10 total.
Was he at 11 power?
Yes. Yeah, he was at 11. Yeah, so that's all correct.
So that
He's
power
fine.
star is probably out of reach for him now, don't you think?
Ooh. Well, he has that fully upgraded, but he doesn't have the upgrade enlist yet.
I mean, we're looking at 3 more buildings. That's 9 power. That gets him to 15. But we've got to assume he's going to be producing between those builds to get his wood.
Well, he needs that enlistment, because without that enlistment, he's not going to at least get the powers from Saxony or Tagawa's upgrades.
Tagawa didn't put a trap token on that tundra, which suggests to me the next move he makes, he's going to come back out to that mountain and keep heading toward the factory.
Right, round 13. Well, going by the past few rounds, that puts us at what, maybe 5 more rounds left over?
It's hard to say. No one's placing stars incredibly quickly. Mia is still 2 mechs away, and still 2 enlists away. We've got a combat star up there, and worker star for Albion. Tagawa's got the only bottom row action star right now.
Yep.
This game is, we're not really speeding through this game. It's going to be a slower, longer game.
Well, it's like Relix was saying, since Saxony and Crimea seem to be going for an engine game, so neither of them is really rushing to end it. And Saxony's in a really good place right now, save for the fact that he's the only one without a star. But it looks like he's going for that enlist star because he can get that one soon.
Saxony's going to have a lot of coin in this game because he's sitting on 12 coin right now and he hasn't made a single mech yet. I played the day. Thanks for watching. This game is on Steam. There is supposedly a version coming to iOS mobile, but it is not out yet. So who are we up to now? Still on, we're back around to Crimea.
Yes, sir.
Oh, iOS. Yeah, you can play Steam on iOS, right, Exxon?
I can't recall if there's the Steam Link app that you could then play it. I
Yeah,
want to say
just
yes.
on a Mac. Yeah. Yeah, this game's on Steam, so you can play it on a Mac.
Yeah. I know tabletop definitely will work on a Mac. The question is whether digital edition will, because that I'm not sure if they've done it cross-platform. But
Yeah,
this one
they
is
have.
playing right here for sure.
Scythe Digital Edition will work on a Mac. Because I know people who play it on a Mac. Let's see here.
Okay, so
Saxony's kind of taking his turn a little early. Crimea hasn't hit in turn yet, so what's he doing? He's going to move some of his mechs here. It's interesting.
We just moved here to deep into Albion's base to grab some more food. Lost the popularity because he made a worker go back. And then I guess now he's right away going to spend 3 of those.
That hurts for Albion.
Definitely.
That hurts substantially for Albion because you know Albion's planning on turning around and moving and getting back off their home base in all likelihood. Crimea has no combat cards and does not have Scout out. So Albion can pick up a fairly cheap combat this next turn, but he can't get his food back because Crimea's already spent it.
Yeah. He can get all of 1 back, which from 4 that he had 2 turns ago, really painful.
So Crimea moved down to this mountain hex. You think that's to block Tagawa from the factory?
Yeah. I mean, because Tagawa has with his move action for moving across rivers, he could cross onto where he has his trap.
I mean, he can cross straight over to that mountain territory. So
Yeah.
if I'm Tagawa, I consider hitting. Now Crimea is back up to 2 combat cards, so I can attack Crimea, but it's going to be an expensive combat unless I'm willing to bluff. Tagawa's at a 3 popularity though, hasn't made a play yet for tier 2, so it's entirely possible that Tagawa just bumps those workers of Crimea to set him back. If I'm not trying to get to tier 2, I'd at least think about it if I'm Tagawa.
Mm-hmm.
Did Tagawa get his encounter from the... There's one over here.
For which encounter? Because he's taken 2, I'm pretty sure.
Right, the second one. I didn't see the second encounter.
Yeah, but he did grab the Rusviet one.
All right. As long as you saw him get it.
Okay. Well, Saxony is definitively in the lead now, I'd say. 8 coins from their stars. Decent amount of territory. Well, 4, but still. At the second tier, that gives him 12.
And he's all but caught Tagawa on coin total.
Mm-hmm. Yep, 16 versus 17.
He's 1 territory behind Tagawa, but his tier 2 makes up for it. More than makes up for it.
Definitely.
His 4 territories are equivalent to 6 of Tagawa's, and Tagawa's sitting on 5.
Wait, I'll be right back.
All right. All right, it's Tagawa's turn right now. Gonna spend 2 oil. Bolster and upgrade. Gonna get him some more coin. Some more power. Mia's going for his 3rd mech here. And he's thinking about it. He's gonna go Scout though. It's the right choice. Scout's one of the more powerful mechs in the game. He's thinking about putting it on that wood tunnel. I don't think he wants to take the risk that Tagawa's gonna bump those workers without a fight. But he'd really like it covering this food. Well, he's got to make a decision here. He's going to play it safe and guard those workers. It'll also be nice to have him there because after the next produce, when he gets wood, he's going to want to move those workers somewhere else. Or at least some workers somewhere else. Maybe to this other wood spot here next to Albion. We're over to Saxony. He's up to 4 metal now. Are we going to see, and we're going to see our first mech out of Saxony, and he's going to see 4 coins out of this. That is a nice jumping points for him. That's equivalent to a star in point total. Can't underestimate the coin strength of the patriotic board. What's Saxony's point total at right now? Got 19. Got 4 territories. That's about 12. So he's sitting on 31 plus 2 stars is 39. About 39 come round 14. And here's what we thought. Albion's going to counterattack Crimea here. Try to get at least some of his food back. And he has that rally mech now. I gotta jump over to the other chat. Hey, Albion.
Yeah?
I don't think you can rally to that mountain spot because
you're right.
you
I'm
didn't have a
sorry.
worker or a trap token there.
Correct.
Yeah, okay, thanks. Yeah, I had to duck out of chat for just a second because Albion's not permitted to use rally. Rally allows him to move a mech to anywhere there is at least anywhere there's a flag token, like this one right here, or a worker. But there's no worker on that spot with Crimea, and he can't drop a flag token from his character before the combat, so he can only attack Crimea with 1 unit. So he's just going to take a regular move here and enlist. Doesn't want to take Crimea on 1v1. Which is understandable, especially not to just get back 1 food. So he's still thinking about where he's going to move. Does he want to build buildings? He has upgraded his build. We can see right up there. So he can bolster and then build for 3 wood. It also probably blocks Crimea, who was there's a good chance was thinking about producing wood on that space after they're producing in their current spot and building another building. Which enlist is Albion going with? He's going to go with that popularity enlist. Counting on Saxony to keep building buildings. He's still got 2 to go. And Tagawa's produced some wood as well, so there may be a lot of popularity in this game. Tagawa hasn't moved in a while. Do we see? Yes, we're going to see him move out of Tagawa now. So here's the question. Does he go across this river here between the mountain and the tundra and attack Crimea? Who is blocking his way to the factory? See the little purple cursor moving around? He's certainly thinking about where he's going to move. All right, he's going to attack. Gonna have a battle. Tagawa can definitely throw 7 power and a good combat, and if he's got a 5 combat card, guarantee victory. But Crimea gets to steal one of these combat cards because he now has Scout. All right, he took back one of his moves. Instead of moving from the metal to the forest, he's going to move from the tundra to the forest and then from the mountain to the farm. That's 2 moves. And the third move, of course, was to attack Crimea. This is a gutsy play by Tagawa here to attack Crimea with only 1 unit. He gets 2 power from Ronin, but he's got to give up a combat card. See Tagawa take that card out. What he probably did was remove his 0 card so that Crimea gets to keep whatever he drew. 0 card, of course, just being for bluffing. See if we can get both combat boxes since they're right next to each other on the stream here. Crimea went 2. He gave the thing away. What Tagawa went? Tagawa went 10. So he used his only remaining combat card and threw 7 power. It means that Crimea either doesn't want to give up his power for some reason or wasn't going to take a chance that Tagawa had a 5. So that's a 2nd star for Tagawa. He now has an unimpeded path to the factory, which he wanted. Probably going to see another trap token right here. Sure enough. And he has 2 wood, so he's probably going to build right now. Do a bottom row action. We're probably going to see... Unfortunately, he moved the worker off of this mountain, so he can't place a building there, which is the only spot available to him to benefit from the building bonus, which is adjacent to tunnels. But he's going to get that mill, and he's going to put it on that tundra, probably because he's not done producing. And he wants to get the coin, at the very least, from those upgrades. Now we're back to Crimea. See what Crimea does now. Looking at Albion on that wood space, he probably wants that wood space. But is he willing to fight for it? Can only hit it with one unit. What's Albion's combat card situation? He has several. He has 5, so it'd be difficult to leverage Scout. He's going to take Albion's village encounter for one of his moves. Looks like he's relocating the mech to this space after picking up workers and food for his second move. Didn't see where that mech came from. We got another encounter coming here. I'll read it. Pet the reindeer and flirt with the locals at the refinery. Gain $2 in popularity. Stock up on oil for the journey ahead. Pay $2 to gain 4 oil. Or convince the soldier that reindeer aren't real. Pay 2 popularity to enlist 1 recruit. Of course, number 3 is a bit deceptive because, as we know, reindeer are real. They just can't fly. And now it's Saxony's turn.
Did I miss anything fun?
I think you missed Tagawa attacking Crimea. Crimea gave up the fight pretty easily, even though Tagawa was just sitting on 1 combat card. And now
the mountain by the factory.
Yeah, now Tagawa's got his unimpeded path to the factory back. Albion counterattacked Crimea and won. Crimea took Albion's village encounter. But Albion's getting some nice spread here. Now he's at only 9 coin. And Saxony's starting to spread out with that tier 2 popularity. But Crimea's up to 8 popularity now. Which...
Nice.
I'm not completely sure how they got there. Did we get a second building from Crimea? No, we've just had the 1. Probably off... Saxony hasn't built any new buildings. Oh, Crimea just had an encounter. Probably it.
Well, that would help.
Yeah, he took option 1. Now we're back to Albion.
Oh, right.
We're going to see produce from Albion? Get some of that wood he moved onto?
No, but trade. Interesting.
What do you think he's trading for? He doesn't have any oil, so he can't get a bottom row action.
No.
He does have his enlist upgraded to only cost 2, and yeah, he's going for some food right now. Trying to get some of that food back that Crimea stole from him.
Yeah, he desperately wants that. Okay, the 2 wood there, and then finally, did he already give the oil? Interesting.
Alright, Saxony's going to start going for these buildings now. It's a lot of resources he just got that turn.
Jeez.
But he dropped back down to tier 1. So don't get me wrong, he's going to get it back as soon as he builds a building. But right now he is not at tier 2.
And he's had, well, he only has 2 buildings remaining, so with the 4 wood, he doesn't even need to get any wood again. So he could just next turn do the trade, except do it for the 2 popularity build and get a 3rd one, and that puts him solidly into tier 2.
You're right, he has upgraded his trade. So that's probably what he's thinking. Gonna be his source of popularity there.
Because I can't see what he'd really want to go for besides that. He has the metal he needs for a mech. He has the oil he needs for an upgrade later on. So it looks like that's probably what he's shooting for.
Albion is going to flag the factory here. There is no trap token on the factory for Tagawa.
Good shout.
At least I expect him to.
Leaving just one guy on the tundra.
Yeah, he's just leaving that guy there to claim some territory as he spreads.
Yep.
Now he's rethinking it.
Okay, let's see. So
He's
everyone
not-
except Albion 2 stars.
He's not placed his flag token yet.
I wonder if Togawa or Saxony
hello.
have that objective card, that get rich or die trying, or whatever it was.
Yeah. I think it's get rich or cry trying. Very close. But you know, not quite as morbid. So Albion's throwing down here. He's leaving the food behind. He only has 4 power to Crimea's 6. And Crimea has Scout here. This is an interesting decision by Albion. He does not have Sword, so he doesn't get to lower Crimea's power here for this fight.
With the number of cards that Crimea has, the likelihood that they have, they only need a 3 to do better than Albion.
And Crimea is still missing a combat star. Crimea can pick up another star here. I'm not entirely sure why Albion thinks he's going to win this fight. Maybe he knows something we don't.
Because his max is 9, right? He doesn't, like you said, he doesn't have Sword to lower anything. Unless he's somehow bidding on the fact that Crimea only has, they're the attacker. So Crimea, Crimea only has 2s and 3s, maybe. But that's also not very likely because Crimea would have probably spent those on instead of resources.
So Albion went 6.
Huh?
Did Crimea go 0?
Crimea went 0?
I don't know why he gave up the wood without a fight. He could have won that fight. He told that mystifies me a little bit. I mean, maybe we're missing something.
He did give Albion a really big hit to popularity because Albion just went from being right on the cusp of tier 2 to being solidly in the middle of tier 1 because he made 3 of Crimea's villagers go back and he has much lower power. I mean,
but are you really trying to beat Albion at this point, or are you trying to beat
No.
Saxony?
No, you're not really. Well, what's his coin situation like? 11 coins for Crimea. I would have thought he'd want to keep the territory, even if that's fun to mess up Albion like that, because he just gave up 3 points, effectively, through that, plus the combat star, so he really gave up 7 points. If you count it like that.
Crimea is sitting on 2 territories right now.
I just think we're gonna need to wait until talking to him at the end of the game to try and figure out what the heck he was thinking there, because I can't figure it out. So that puts him at territories, that puts him at 6. Stars, he still has 2, so 8 points, 14. 25 with his coins.
Who are we talking about?
Crimea. 25 coins total, plus the 29, not counting any resources.
How many territories did you say?
2, right? Because
Yeah,
he just
2.
has his farm and his mountain.
Yeah.
And he bid 4, so that puts him at 25 currently.
Which with Tagawa sitting on 21 coin and Saxony sitting on 21 coin, I mean, is not going to be enough.
Because trap tokens don't count as Togawa's territories, right?
They do not count as controlled territories, but at the end of the game, Tagawa gets credit for those territories as long as no one else controls them. So,
and as long as it's still armed?
As long as it's still armed, yes.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, Albion put himself in a really weak position there. I'm not surprised Tagawa's attacking him now.
So right now, I like Tagawa or Saxony in this game. Saxony has 19 coin.
Definitely.
Tagawa has 21 coins. So coins are about a wash. So Gawa is going to pick up another star here and have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 territories. Saxony has 5 territories, but and is not at tier 2 currently. Let's assume Saxony is going to get back up to tier 2 next turn. Saxony has the equivalent of 7.5 territories. And but we said Tagawa has 8 territories, and if he wins this combat, he's going to have 3 stars. That's actually more point. Tagawa will technically be in the lead if he wins this combat. A very close lead, and one that's very susceptible for Saxony to spread, because with that tier 2, Saxony can pick up more points quickly than Tagawa can. But with I'll be right back, Exxon.
Yeah, sure. Let's see. And Saxony obviously wants to build a building, but if he first moves to some place that isn't next to this tunnel, which he already has a building next to, he can also move. That's probably what he'd want to go for, but again, building it now shoots him right into tier 2, which he will want to get as many points as possible. Looking at the stars, we have 2 each. Saxony is nowhere close to it with Max. 2 upgrades away, which isn't that bad. 2 buildings away. They also don't have any combat stars, which for Saxony is almost weird. And we have no idea what their objectives are. Okay, well, let's say he builds now. Builds where he can now, which means he doesn't get any tunnel points. If he builds right away, that puts him at 9 popularity, which gives him 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 15 plus 8, 23, 41. 41 points minus his bid of 2, 39. That does put him in a pretty good place, thanks to his coins. Togawa's not going to hit that high, so Togawa's now increasing their coins, 22 coins. They're 2 stars, which gives them 6 28, and they're 1, 2, 3, assuming armed, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, because factory is 3, 16. What's that, 28? So Togawa is in the lead, even if Saxony hits tier 2, unless they change something.
Is anyone close to ending this game?
I don't see how.
I think the answer to that right now is no. Saxony has 3 buildings, so in a couple turns he can build a 4th, but that will only be his 3rd star. Crimea just placed his 3rd star for his 4th mech. Another produce gets in the worker star, so Crimea is the closest to being able to end this game, I think. But I don't think Crimea wants to end the game right now.
I don't think they want to either, not in their current state, which is 11 coins. The 3 stars, which puts them at, let's see, score-wise. Actually 12 plus 11, 33, plus their territories, which is only the 1. Wow, they only have 1 territory right now? Jeez.
Well, there's the village, encounter village up at the top of the board, so they're sitting on 2.
2, 6, that's still 29 with their coins. The 4 for the building, which is 33. Dang, they're only at 29 after their bid, minus their bid. Saxony's actually, and Togawa's actually in the lead, because they also have no bid, so they're now currently at 40, I'm pretty sure from what I counted.
Did Crimea use their factory last time?
No. They haven't used it for a couple of turns.
They're in a position to take the factory. And they've already gotten their last enlist, though, so it would be of limited usefulness. I mean, Crimea needs to think in terms, I think, of getting on that village and then starting to spread out. Because Crimea has 10 popularity, and if Crimea starts to spread and can pick up that worker star, and it looks like they're going for that worker star, I question going for that village instead of the one in the center of the board, because you don't get access to the factory on that one. Crimea also has 3 popularity to give, so bumping workers is definitely an option for them, unless they're completely committed to tier 3 here. But I mean, Crimea's been suffering in this game for a while, and their plan to build buildings has not worked out for them. But if we see a worker star out of Crimea, some spread, and a doable objective, they could end up with this game after all.
Sure. That's assuming that they can do a surprise, shall we say, turn end like that, like getting a 2 or 3 stars in 1 turn, then yeah, for sure.
Well, even if you do it a star at a turn, even if next turn you do the worker star, then you just need to combat an objective. And if you've got something like Over the Tunnels, or 3 farms, or Northern Advantage, but see, now look at that. Saxony's going to lock down the factory there. Crimea has no quick route to the factory now at all. They're going to have to go through Saxony if they want to get there, which really means now, I think, if you're Crimea, you're looking at spreading out with Wayfair into Rustviet's home base, Nordic's home base, and maybe Polania's home base. Unless you're just willing to fight your way. But you've either got to go through Saxony, who has more power than you and has 2 units. You've got to go through Albion and then risk whatever that trap token of Togawa's is. I don't see Crimea with a good route to the factory anymore.
No, so, I don't think they'd want to go for that at this point, because I mean, Polania actually wouldn't be that bad if they go there, because it's relatively safe from the other factions, because if they're on the village, Polania's village or farm, well then it still is going to take at least a couple of turns for either Albion or Saxony to get there if they wanted, due to their river walks and everything.
With the factory not being an option anymore in all likelihood, I think Crimea really needs that tier 3 to make the territories they are going to pick up count.
Mm-hmm. They might go. So they have. No, they still have 3 more buildings.
Is there a flag token on that? Where did he move that character from?
Which character?
Albion's character.
Shoot, I didn't see.
I'm gonna ask real quick.
Okay.
Hey, Albion, where was that character?
Here. Rally and then move.
Okay, factory card
So there's
move.
a factory.
All right,
Yeah.
thanks.
The
He used his factory card and he rallied to the tunnel tundra, and then for his second space used burrow to move over to that space. So it's all good. All right. Tagawa's turn here. Does Tagawa have a path to finishing this game? He's sitting on 2 buildings right now. He hasn't produced any resources for any of the others. He's only on 1 more place he can build. The build star is going to come slowly for him. He has 0 power. He's nowhere near the power star. He can't produce because he's out of power. So is he trading? Hey, Tagawa?
Yeah?
Did you have 1 power at the start of this turn? I see you have 0 right now.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so you did have 1 power when the turn started?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Alright, so Tagawa had 1 power when the turn started, so he can produce 1 more time.
Right.
Where are we at here?
Well, Tagawa just produced, and now they're out of power, so surely a bolster and an upgrade is probably going to come next turn. We're at turn 19 now, so I mean, I think the smart money is on Crimea to end this game. The question is, how does Crimea do it in such a way that he has enough points to win? I think is really the question. I mean, Saxony.
Worker star. Here we go.
I think Saxony's probably pulled ahead right now. We're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 territories from Saxony. 19 coin. 9 territories at tier. You just hit tier 3. 9 territories at tier 3 is, wow.
45. Holy cow. And Crimea got that. Yeah, got that.
30. Well, 9 times 4 is 36, right? And then 19 more coin puts him at 55. Plus the 2 stars. 3 stars.
Well, he's on tier 3 now, so that's 9 times 5, right? Which is 45 for the. Sorry. Yeah, 9 times 4. Sorry, I keep on reading the star one.
So it's 55 plus 10 more. I mean, I count 65 points out of Saxony right now. Not including the resources.
Let's see. 15 for that. Yeah.
I'm not sure anyone can touch that score right now. I mean, somebody's got to bump that worker off the factory, and it's probably going to have to be Albion. Because Tagawa's needs, I mean, Tagawa could use Tagawa didn't take a factory card. Didn't they win that fight on the factory? Or did they lose that fight?
Did he lose which fight?
Didn't Tagawa fight Albion on the factory earlier?
Yes.
Did they win that fight? I'm trying to remember now.
I'm pretty sure they did. Because, yeah, I think they tried to move on. No, wait. Damn.
I think it's a little late to do anything about it now, but... Oh no, Tagawa took a factory card. It's just not next to their player mat. It's way up here in Rustviet's area.
Ah, yeah.
Okay, good. So they could use the factory card move to bump Saxony's worker off of there, which would knock Saxony down from about 65 to about 53, which is a huge difference.
Well, yeah, true. That takes, 12 points away.
But with 9 power, Saxony's would probably just come right back, retake the factory with 2 units. Just get an easy star out of it. Okay, Crimea just got an encounter. Where is it?
It's right below him. He did gain 2 metal and 1 popularity.
Okay.
So let's see. So Saxony's not going to build anymore, obviously. Yeah, he just needs to trade. Crimea can trade and build.
Saxony's turned in no objectives so far.
Wait, why is Knight suddenly yelling yes? Oh, because he's attacking Tagawa?
Wasn't Saxony at 13 popularity a minute ago?
Yeah, I think he just made some.
Did he bump a worker?
He must have, but I don't see where.
Well, he just hit Tagawa on that other trap token. So he's going to lose 2 popularity.
Yeah.
But he moved his popularity before he got there. He lost 2 by stepping on the pop trap. But he moved the popularity trap token before he stepped on that. Oh, he must have stepped on that trap a minute ago and we just didn't see it. There's a lot going on this board. That's why Crimea got excited, is because Saxony just dropped to tier 2. So Saxony was playing to end the game this turn. And even with the drop in popularity, it looks like he's going to do it. I think we're about to see our first objective from Saxony, and I think we're going to see a Saxony win right here.
Oh. Can you do 2 in 1 turn?
2 objectives? You certainly can.
Damn, well, that's it. Oh, he was just doing...
0 factory cards and control at least 2 territories adjacent to the factory. Did he win both of those? Oh, it was just 1 fight.
Yeah.
He flipped the trap token over on... But now he's at 0 power, so he's vulnerable. But I mean... How's he going to get his last star then? Maybe he's got an objective he can do?
I'm pretty sure the objective... Oh no, the objective that he had something, I think...
Oh, you can't... If you saw his objective, shouldn't talk about it on stream.
Yeah. True. Someone else could be listening in. Yeah. Let's see. Still at 19. Well, he only has 1 more upgrade. He doesn't have the oil though that he needs, so that puts him at least 2 turns away because he could do a trade or a produce. But oh no, he needs to do a trade because he doesn't have the power. So a trade into an upgrade to end the game is something he could potentially do.
We might see a bolster deploy here because it gives him a net of 3 coins and that last popularity he needs to hit tier 3.
Yeah, or that.
It's I guess it's a question of whether he thinks he has it and can just wait 2 turns and take it, or whether he wants to go ahead and increase his lead and buy himself a little time to end it.
Let's see. Well, if he doesn't hit tier 3, well, then I think his position is a lot more uncertain. So, yeah, I think he'll probably do the bolster and the mech. Especially disarm would be nice.
Even without
see which one he ends up choosing.
Even without tier 3, his territory advantage is staggering here. And he's right there with Tagawa's coin, right? So I think, Tagawa's got 26. Saxony has 19, so he's a little bit behind on coin. If he were to, but if he bolsters, picks up a popularity from the monument, and deploys, I mean, I think at that point his lead is insurmountable.
Well, Raylex says he trades for popularity next round to end. He showed it to us, which I assume means the objective card, because yeah, he did pull it out briefly, but I thought that was a misclick or something.
Oh, so he did show the objective, so he doesn't need the upgrade. So he's sitting on another, he was going to end it last turn, but he's sitting on another objective that he's already completed, I guess.
Yeah, so he just gets the popularity next turn, yeah, and then the second objective, and that's it.
See, I think he had it even without the extra tier of popularity. I guess he wants to be sure and doesn't think anyone can disrupt him.
Well, not if he just has. This is literally like the last turn for Albion, Togawa, and Crimea, and then unless
right.
he decides the positioning isn't good, but then he just ends the game now.
I mean, Albion used his factory move and elected not to bump that worker of Saxony's. He could have attacked Saxony, who has 0 power in 2 places. Or 1 place, I guess. He could have taken 4 territories away from Saxony, the way I'm looking at it. Between the factory and attacking one of those units. So 4 territories, I mean, that's a lot of coin. That's Are you better off waiting 1 round if you're going to potentially... I mean, he's not going to lose it now. He's not going to lose the factory. But he took a chance there, I think.
Yeah. And Togawa is still... well, he is doing moves, so he's still thinking that. Retracting one of his or not? Come on, Togawa. Okay, so he's taking that one back.
I mean, Togawa's got to attack Saxony here, right? You got to think even if you didn't see the objective card like we did, you've got to think Saxony's about to end this game.
Well, he's already pulled it out now. You can see that he has become a beloved pacifist just lying out, but he hasn't given himself the star for it yet.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah, because that requires 13 popularity. So, yeah, like you were saying, Raylex, he just gets the 2 popularity now.
You don't see that beloved pacifist Saxony that often, do you?
No.
That was a gutsy call to play for that objective. But it looks like it's going to pay off for him.
How many stars is Crimea at? 4. This is his final turn, let's say. What did he do last? Okay, he lasted the factory, so he can do anything really now from his available turns, but
He can move, there's just not that much territory to pick up. I mean, he has an objective he can do and pick up a combat, he can end this game. But if he can do it, he might do it just to try to get second at this point.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Because
I mean,
those
he
two
has
stars are going to be
time.
worth 10 coin right there, and each territory he picks up is worth 4. So if he can end it, he's looking at some substantial coins this last turn.
I do wonder why Saxony already pulled out the objective card.
Yeah, I don't know. Remy is still thinking about his turn. Maybe he's trying to figure out if he can end it.
Yeah, Relic says because he should have ended hard last turn. Yeah, the trap denied him the objective. Okay, that's what the yes was about.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so if not for hitting that trap, that would have been GG right there.
He had to know there was a decent. I mean, there's a 50% chance he was going to hit it, though. The odds were good.
Mm-hmm. Because what are it's 3 traps, right? It's -3 power, -2 pop, and then what's the last one?
2 combat cards and 4 coin.
Okay, that's what it is.
So at this point, his lead is big enough that the coin wouldn't have hurt him that much. He doesn't care about the combat cards at all.
Mm-hmm.
And the 3 power may have helped him out. He probably could have spent himself down to nothing either way.
Yeah, and he always had that option, though. It looks here that he still has. Well, it's between 7 and 0 his power dial, so I don't know how much he actually dialed last turn. Grammy is still trying to figure out how to maximize.
Crimea's picked up 1 territory, I think, by moving that mech and that worker out to those 2 spots.
Yeah.
I mean, he can pick up 2 more territories. Is really it. He's at 13 pops, so he doesn't want to bump a worker. If you use Wayfarer, you can just pick up 1 territory. And then he can pick up 2 by placing workers on that tundra and that metal space. So unless I'm missing something, he's looking at total pickup of 5 territories here, unless he's going to try to go for a combat. But I don't see a combat that he has accessible to him without losing popularity.
Yeah, which for him just wouldn't be worth it at this point. Because 1 popularity is enough to completely reduce his score by a huge amount. I mean, let's see. Where did you get 5 territories from again? Moving.
Okay, was the worker on that village already there?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure they were all right there.
So then he's looking at 3, I think. Okay, I'm not sure why he did that, because he had the opportunity to pick up 2 territories with that mech and those workers, and he's just going to pick up 1.
Even 3, because he could move the mech across into the farm, and then move 2 workers into the tundra and mountain.
Right, if he was going to use all 3 moves. I just mean he could use 1 move to pick up that tundra and that mountain with that mech and those workers.
With a single mech move. Mm-hmm.
There's a possibility here that he has harvest advantage. But if he has harvest advantage, he has to pick up that. I don't see a third. I don't see a third farm. So why move the mech to Polania's home base there? I wonder.
Trying to think what it could be that could. He has 3 villages, but he didn't show the objective card.
Well, he's not ending now, right? Because he can't go for a combat.
Yeah, well, he already passed his turn on to Saxony, so in that case, I'm pretty sure Saxony just ends that right now.
Right.
He might be doing a quick calculation.
I mean, I'd be shocked if Saxony didn't have this. I mean, Tagawa's sitting on 5 territories, but he's in tier 1, so that's 10 coin for him. He's got 2 stars in tier 1, that's 6 coin, so that's 16 coin for Tagawa. Plus the 27 he has, we're looking at what, low 40s for Tagawa? And I mean, we did a calculation for Saxony a little bit earlier, and we had him in the 60s. And I think Crimea and Albion are probably looking at 3rd and 4th in no particular order.
Yeah, I mean, he just needs to get up to that 13 popularity and get his card, and that just is 30 for stars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 territories. Holy cow.
48. Yeah. So, I mean, Saxony's in the high 70s, low 80s.
Yeah, he's ending it. No, he's at least, just from those 2 things, he's at 70 points. Plus a handful of resources, I'm sure, gets him another, 6 or something. Only gets 2 from the buildings, but I think that's game.
This is a well-fought win by Saxony. It took 21 turns, but he's going to pull it out with a lot of coin. Now we just have the score calculating.
And Saxony has 2. Yeah, that's like nothing in terms of bidding. They did really well there. Shall we rejoin their chat?
Sure.
That's fun.
Jeez.
Actually, I might have just gotten.
Wow.
It's too bad I couldn't do it the previous turn, but
We underestimated your score there, Saxony. I mean, we had you pretty high, but we didn't have you that high. I guess we weren't thinking about the bonus. Saxony, should that bonus be at 4 or should it be at 9?
oh, it's just 4 because I'm only built next to 2 tunnels.
Oh, okay. I hear you. Just asking how the MAC calculator worked. 6 stars is 6 stars is 30.
Yeah,
12 territories is 48. That's 78 plus the 18 coin. Yeah, we didn't count his coin when we were adding it up.
Yeah, that's what we missed. Yeah.
that little thing about his coin.
Purple, to use the score, you have to hold your mouse. Oh, there you go.
as soon as I saw the upgrade, the trade to build, I was like, Derek's gonna have a fun game.
You know it.
I wasn't sure it was beloved pacifist or in building infrastructure, but I was like, I see it.
It's like when I got the wood from the encounter, it's like, okay, I have to do it now. The universe is telling.
So how do we copy this these scores over to mods? Is there a way to highlight them and copy them, or we just have to
Yeah,
transcribe
just
them?
go into edit node and then Control A, Control C. So I'll do that as soon as he does
Okay.
his.
I'm glad I didn't finish that normal strategy because I think it's the most powerful strategy I know for patriotic.
Did you subtract from your score with the amount you bid or whatever?
Well, the scores here we put that's without the bids, and then we'll just in the Discord chat write that it was minus however much they bid.
55 for me would be because I bid 1.
51 for me. I was really struggling with like the popularity.
So Brainfood, did you have fun? Did you want to continue in the tournament and take over one?
It was fun, but with the work, my work's like all over the place. I'm still working at the moment.
Okay,
So
no worries.
Hi, Chef.
Thanks for subbing in.
Thanks for the game. Thanks for subbing in.
Thanks, guys. See you
Yeah.
later.
So the patriotic board was next to last in the tournament on coin production coming into this round. I think it's catching up with a vengeance.
For sure.
Do we want to put these in modular stats or vanilla win stats on the?
So without the bid goes in vanilla, and then with the bid goes in.
Okay, so I have
Wait.
that.
Also, my character, the industrial board.
Albion was innovative.
So Crimea bid 4.
Oh, can you edit the note and change Albion from industrial to innovative?
Oh yeah, sure.
Oh, sorry.
Oh yeah, neither of
guys,
those were
yeah.
very
Equals 55.
resource. Yeah. You were well, you needed grain
Well,
oil.
I don't think I've ever
great
put up
too.
100 with Saxony Patriotic.
I could have traded for it, but I'm still star off. Could have got combat, but if you star off, I just couldn't do it.
Okay, so it's correct in the modular, and let me just fix that in vanilla. Innovative.
Are you recopying it in, or are you editing it?
I think just recopy it in actually because it goes to the web, and I think it's gotten messed up.
So is it better to just delete and then paste it again, or
I
what?
think delete and then paste again with innovative.
Okay. I will do that. Delete.
Yeah, Chim Pao said that that his
Okay.
coding doesn't handle edits right now.
I think I did more well than I thought I was going to do, considering how much I messed up this game. I will happily take 3rd place. I was not playing this game well.
I did okay to say it's the first time I've played together.